26th of February, 9 a.m. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice, cozy breakfast, but we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not, but is there even anyone here? I could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It's very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock that is to keep perfect time. Pitter-patter-pitter-patter. No one's running. What was that? I wonder. The usual comforting sound of a clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. Haha. You're right, something's disturbing the rhythmical. Sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post clumsily. Who are you calling unfit? Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? What am I? Isn't it blooming obvious? 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. We have to talk later, Sunshine. We'll have to talk later. Good morning, Lord Strongheart. Wow, he's looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. Good morning to you. Business so early in the day? Well, I mean, it's about the other day, we beg to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Mitsume are now over. Oh yes, the little Japanese man. I already cast my eyes over Van Zeke's report. Must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You're too kind, my lord. It's not there. Here, it's not there. It's not over there either. I hope you don't mind me asking what exactly is the inspector doing. He's been hurrying around these bookshelves looking beside himself with worry. Looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride. There's an all too familiar title. I heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, I wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I sent messages. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where it was. Oh, not there. Not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I asked Gregson to locate it for me. His investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes. I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something like a man possessed. Yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. At whose instigation? Let me guess, Stony Face Lord. The 5-minute time limit? What's the significance of that? There's none. It's just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. By your own admission. I can't. You're killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Which means next month you'll work unpaid and have no days off. No days off? There really are just too many books here. It's overwhelming. For some, perhaps, I purchase every book, new and old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. Would have believed it a few short decades ago, a place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. I see, Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. There's a tax on paper, see? On paper? I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was a tax levied on any kind of paper, so obviously that meant most folks couldn't afford to buy any books at all. Ah, so this is why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence were stronger. Indeed, vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public considers books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library for some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that, even if you weren't reincarnated 10,000 times. Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of tax has actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seemed that the window in this room was filled in due to some window tax. That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Britain's always had a bit of a thing for taxing stuff. Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards. Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Did you say beards? Yep, the beard tax. Never heard of it? Never. Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may as well. You may well ask, I suppose it makes them look self-important. Naruhodos would have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. You can relax. The pure tax was confined to the annals of history a long time ago. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them? You got that back to front, sunshine. You can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Mr. Sato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. No, you don't mean... Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan. No, but there's been similar obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there's a frontage tax. What was that? There's a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. No idea. So Japanese are as twisted as us Brits. But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards at least, but... What do you mean, at least? I sneeze. Excuse me. Rather than tax them, Shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards? It's called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was the Edo period edict. Why did the powers that want to ban beards? Because it makes people look self-important. Just an idea. It would seem that the rulers in the East and the West have very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. There's a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures, like the one who makes mochi sweets on the moon? Yeah, it was an extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. It just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rapid boom in the Meiji capital. Boom. Keeping rabbits became hugely popular. The new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose? Hard to imagine though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. When they have thought one could bankrupt you. So in response to this worrying social vote, the government imposed rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem, and it worked because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end 6 years later. The tax was abolished. I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Oh dear, the government didn't think that one through, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you're responsible for the running of the country, you'll feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down the drain. Ah, the classic question, who would build the roads, right? Well, yes, I suppose so, but some of these taxes... Precisely why ministers of the state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways for taxing the public. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you are one of my country's statesmen. Me? A British statesman? Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Ray, give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds. Because something everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and squeeze every penny out of the population. What? That's quite an immense stare. I'm very glad that Susato-san is in charge. Your time is up, so what's your answer? Well, air maybe? How about air? Air tax? Oh no. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo, a truly novel and famous idea. Oh my. Well, everyone has to raise so while the population is and my government is nailing. You're a tyrant at heart, eh? Some radical solution to a country's revenue problems is sadly not an original one. You don't mean to say... Surely not. You mean a tax on air already has been imposed in the past? It was last century the finance minister of neighbors France proposed it. If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath. Unsurprisingly, he was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. Here, all too clearly that would have been an untenable situation. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with. Don't I know it? How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Let's see, my first thought is a tax on objection. Sorry? Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. I think an objection tax could be very handy. Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. An amusing proposal, Gregson. Most unamusing proposal, my lord. Well, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of the Lion's Pride. It's on one of the shelves in this room. Of that I'm certain. Now I should give you 10 minutes. Or else what? And let's stake your student stipend on it. Fail to find the book and you forfeit next month's payment. Objection! Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. Kindly leave your 5 pence over before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is going to be the death of me.